Hello everyone, welcome you all in my YouTube channel. This is the sixth video of the series AZ-900 exam. Coming to the questions, question number 76. Your company has data centers in Los Angeles and New York. The company has Microsoft Azure subscription. You are configuring the two data centers as geo-clustered sites for the site resiliency. You need to recommend an Azure storage redundancy solution. You have the following data storage requirements. What are the requirements? Number one, data must be stored on multiple nodes. Second, data must be stored on nodes in separate geographic locations. And number third, data can be read from the secondary location as well as from the primary location. So these are the three data storage requirements. Number one, we can store the data on multiple nodes. Second, data can be stored on the nodes in separate geographical locations, and data can be read from any secondary location as well as from the primary location. So we have to find which of the following Azure storage redundancy option should we recommend. And the options given are geo redundant storage, read only geo redundant storage, zone redundant storage, and locally redundant storage. So correct option is B, read only geo redundant storage. Coming to the next question, question number 77. Your developers have created 10 web applications that must be hosted on Azure. You need to determine which Azure web tier plan to host the web apps. The web tier plan must meet the following requirements. These are the requirements. Number one, the web app will use custom domain. Number two, web apps each require 10 GB of storage. Number three, web app must each run in a dedicated compute instances. Number four, load balancing between instances must be included. And number five, cost must be minimized. So which web tier plan should you use? And the options given are number A standard, number B basic, number C free, and number D share. And correct option is B basic. And the reason for choosing basic is that standard offers 50 GB of storage space, while basic gives us 10 GB of space, and we only require 10 GB of storage. And we have to keep in mind that cost must be minimized. So we choose basic. Coming to the question number 78, your developer have created a portal web app for the users in Miami branch office. The web app will be publicly accessible and used by Miami users to retrieve customer and product information. The web app is currently running in on-premises test environment. You plan to host the web app on Azure. You need to determine which Azure web tier plan to host the web app. The web tier plan must meet the following requirements. These are the requirements. Number one, website will be used the miami.vland.com URL. Number two, website will be deployed to two instances. Number three, SSL support must be included. Number four, website required 12 GB of storage. And number five, cost must be minimized. So which plan will be used? Storage, basic, free, and share. And correct option is A, standard. Because we have to keep two things in our mind, that we have the website requirement of 12 GB, but basic will not support 12 GB because it supports only 10 GB of storage. So basic will not be required and cost must be minimized. So we choose standard as the correct option. Coming to the question number 79, your company has virtual machines hosted in Microsoft Azure. The virtual machines are located in a single Azure virtual network named VNet1. The company has users that work remotely. The remote workers require access to the VMs on VNet1. You need to provide access for remote workers. What should you do? Number A, configure a site-to-site S2S VPN. Number 2, configure a VNet to VNet VPN. Number 3, configure a point-to-site VPN. Number 4, configure direct access on Windows Server 2012 server VM. Or number E, configure a multi-site VPN, and correct option is C. Configure a point-to-site P2S VPN, and the reason for that is a P2S, that is point-to-site VPN gateway connection, let you create a secure connection to your virtual network from an individual client computer, and that is our requirement. Coming to the question number 80, you have an on-premises network that contains several servers. You plan to migrate all servers to Azure. You need to recommend a storage solution to ensure that some of the servers are available if a single Azure data center goes offline for an extended period. What should you include in the recommendation? Since an Azure data center goes offline for an extended period, so we will recommend fault tolerance as correct option. So it should be A. Coming to the question number 81, your company hosts an accounting application named App1 that is used by all the customers of the company. App1 has low usage during first 3 weeks of each month and very high usage during the last week of each month. Which benefit of the Azure Cloud Services support cost management for this type of usage pattern? High availability, high latency, elasticity, or load balancing, and correct option is C, elasticity. Coming to the question number 82, you plan to migrate a web application to Azure. The web application is accessed by external users. You need to recommend a cloud deployment solution to minimize the amount of administrative effort used to manage the web application. What should you include in the recommendation? A, SaaS solution. B, PaaS solution. C, IaaS solution, या फिर option D, DaaS solution, that is database as a service solution. So correct option is B, platform as a service, PaaS solution. Coming to the question number 83, you have an on-premises network that contains 100 servers. You need to recommend a solution that provides additional resources to your user. The solution must minimize capital and operational expenditure cost. What should you include in the recommendation? Option A, complete migration to the public cloud. Option B, an additional data center. Option C, a private cloud, or option D, a hybrid cloud. So correct option is D, a hybrid cloud. Coming to the question number 84, you plan to migrate several servers from an on-premises network to Azure. What is the advantage of using a public cloud service for the servers over an on-premises network? Option A, public cloud is owned by the public, not a private corporation. Option B, public cloud is crowd-sourcing solution that provides corporation with the ability to enhance the cloud. Option C, all public cloud resources can be freely accessed by every member of the public. Option D, public cloud is a shared entity whereby multiple corporations each use a portion of resources in the cloud. And correct option is D, public cloud is a shared entity whereby multiple corporations each use a portion of resources in the cloud. Coming to the question number 85, in which type of cloud model are all the hardware resources owned by a third party and shared between multiple tenants? And correct option is C, public. Coming to the question number 86, you have 1,000 virtual machines hosted on a Hyper-V host in a data center. You plan to migrate all the virtual machines to Azure Pay-as-you-go subscription. You need to identify which expenditure model to use for the planned Azure solution. Which expenditure model should you identify? Option A, operational. Option B, elastic. Option C, capital. Or option D, scalable. And correct option is A, operational. Coming to the question number 87, your company has an on-premises network that contains multiple servers. The company plans to reduce the following administrative responsibilities. Number one, backing up application data. Number two, replacing failed server hardware. Number three, managing physical server security. Number four, updating server operating system. And number five, managing permissions to the shared documents. The company plans to migrate servers to Azure virtual machines. You need to identify which administrative responsibilities will be eliminated after the planned migration. Which two responsibilities should you identify? And we have to find among these. Number A, replacing failed server hardware. Number B, backing up application data. Number C, managing physical server security. Number D, updating server operating system. And number E, managing permissions to the shared document. We have to select two, and correct option is A, replacing failed server hardware, and number C, managing physical server security. Coming to question number 88, you plan to provision infrastructure as a service resources in Azure. Which resource plan is an example of IaaS? A. Azure Web App. B. Azure Virtual Machine. C. Azure Logic App. Or D. Azure SQL Database. And correct option is B. Azure Virtual Machine is an example of IaaS. Coming to the question number 89. To which cloud model can you deploy physical servers? A. Private cloud and hybrid cloud only. B. Private cloud only. C. Private cloud, hybrid cloud and public cloud. And D. Hybrid cloud only. And correct option is A. Private cloud and hybrid cloud only, on which we can deploy physical servers. Coming to the question number 90. Your company plans to deploy several custom applications to Azure. The application will provide invoicing services to the customers of the company. Each application will have several prerequisite applications and services installed. You need to recommend a cloud deployment solution for all the applications. What should you recommend? A. Software as a service. B. Platform as a service. Or C. Infrastructure as a service. And correct option is C. Infrastructure as a service.